Kia ora guys, and MB pals, I'm Alice Wonderland, your favourite Kiwi trans girl, and as you may have noticed, I've been away for basically all of April. And as much as I am loath to break character, I thought today I would talk to you as IRLs because I think you deserve it. All 70,000 of you fund me, you support me, you give me a motivation and a purpose to succeed in life, and it's very humbling. You've allowed me to quit my job and do YouTube as a full-time career, which is just a prospect I never ever dreamed of having. So today I wanted to tell you what's been going on over the last couple of months, and I'll preface by saying that this isn't going to be the happiest video. I really need your help now more than ever. So I guess the tall and the short of it is that views on my videos and on my channel have been drastically down this year in spite of increased content quality and increased effort of production on my part. As you might imagine, that's extremely demoralizing, and the worst part is that I just have no idea why. I pride myself on being able to identify my faults and improve and make a conscious effort to get better, but I'm really stumped this time. I have a couple of theories. First, of course, is the obvious. She fell off. You know, people could just be bored of me. If that's the case, I mean, what can I do about that except ask for your feedback? What do you want to see me do more? What in my content don't you like? But something in my gut tells me that's not what this is. You know, responses on comments, responses on polls, and my community posts indicate that nothing has changed in my audience. And that leads me on to my second theory, which is a lot more depressing. You see, it flipped like a switch. My channel did really great all throughout January and all throughout last year, but the second we got into February, it was like someone flicked a switch and 40% of my views were gone. Now I wonder what happened in February. Now you see, that worries me. That really worries me a lot, because if it's true that Google's algorithms have been altered to appease this orange madman who thinks he's a god, then what can I do? The short answer is nothing. Obviously I'll campaign against that. But at the end of the day, if that's what's happened, my career is over. Maybe some channels could bounce back, but I'm just not big enough to survive 4 years of that. But at the same time, talking about that makes me feel like a conspiracy theorist, you know? And I'm not entirely certain that's what it is, either. So then we look at my third theory, which I think is the most likely. You may have heard about this before. A lot of YouTubers talk about how at the start of the year, views are down, ad revenue is down, etc, etc. I've noticed this, but in a slightly different way. So this is my third year on YouTube. And every prior year, my channel has absolutely bombed in April. I don't know why April specifically, but every single time, just nothing goes right for me in April. So at the moment, my leading theory is that my start of the year slump, maybe just the start of the year slump for trans content creators in general, actually takes place more around March and April than around January. And I'm thinking this year maybe it's just extended because, you know, if you think about it, well, world's in a little bit of a scary place at the moment, and maybe a lot of trans viewers aren't feeling happy enough to enjoy content on YouTube, and maybe they're just trying to stay away from social media and things like that. Who knows what the reason could be, but at the moment my leading theory is that I'm just in an extended end-of-year slump. And basically, I came to realize that around halfway through March. At the end of the day, I realized that, hey, this is happening. April is typically my worst month of the year by a large margin. And so I just decided, you know, it would be better to take a step back and regather my energy than to continue throwing shit at a brick wall and hoping something sticks. Because realistically, I know that nothing I was going to upload in April was going to do well anyway. So everything I uploaded or worked on in April was going to end up being a waste of time, a waste of production energy, and a waste of a good video idea. And I'd rather save my good video ideas for when I think they have a better chance of doing well. And basically, that's why I've been away for 4 weeks, is I was regrouping and planning to start uploading again in May. I decided it was better to take some time off to take a step back, regroup, look at my options, and look at my channel with a wider view and, you know, sort of make a new plan and a new content strategy going forward. Identify any problems, any anything, just think about my channel and where I'm going to take it. As well as, of course, taking a little bit of time for myself, because I'm not going to lie, that February-March period where every single video was doing poorly, it really sucks. So I needed to take some time off and just try and get my morale back up, you know? And because I took a step back and disengaged a little bit, I also managed to identify a few areas where I was struggling personally. The biggest of these was that I just wasn't enjoying making content. I didn't really realize it until I stopped, but I wasn't. And there's a lot of factors behind that. Chief of which is that, you know, it's really hard to be creative and fun and put on a smiley face when you know that this creative passion project you're working on isn't going to do well. Now, I don't know how much you know about being a YouTube content creator, but YouTube has this stupid fucking thing that's just designed to demoralize content creators. You see this little 2 of 10 thing here? If I open that up, it brings me to this screen. Basically, it's a way to compare, and it is a useful statistic. It compares how your video is doing compared to the last 10, well, the last 9 uploads, I suppose, and gives you a ranking out of 10. A 1 out of 10 means this is your best performing video out of the last 10. If you get a 10 out of 10, that means it's your worst performing, and depression ensues. And because of this February-March slump that I was having, every single video was at least a 7 out of 10, usually an 8, a 9, and even a 10 out of 10 a couple of times. And I didn't know why. I was working really hard on these videos. I was putting more effort into them than I ever had before. I think you can tell in like just the sheer scope of the editing, you know, and it's just like another kind of crushing to have a passion project like that just be a 10 of 10. And the fact that I was uploading weekly meant I had to get moving. I had to start working on the next video. And so I was working on this next video, well, depressed about the last video, and it was just a vicious cycle. And I just couldn't find any enjoyment in my creative outlet. It wasn't fun. Another reason I wasn't really enjoying making content is that, and I'll be completely honest with you here, I don't really watch trans content. Essentially, I wasn't making the type of content that I would watch. Now that's okay, I put my own spin on it, you know, I made it pretty fun, and I did enjoy that aspect of it. But, it's hard to talk about. It seemed like every video I uploaded that wasn't something to do with estrogen or something to do with trans memes would just bomb. And maybe I just didn't find the right video ideas that would interest you guys, but I always wanted to be a content creator who happens to be trans. I never wanted to be a trans content creator. Now, I don't mind making trans content. That's fine. Like, making a trans meme video every month is kind of fun because, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's just memes in general at this point. There's nothing about these videos has anything to do with trans memes. And you know, that's fun once a month or whatever, but it would be nice to also just have some, you know, normal videos that don't have anything to do with transness do well, you know? And so that was getting me down a little bit. I felt like I was pinned into a box, essentially, is what I'm trying to say is I felt like I was pinned into a box and I couldn't make the kind of content that I really wanted to make. Another couple areas where I was struggling is we're going into the, you know, cold and rainy season in New Zealand. In fact, you might actually be able to hear the rain outside if I shut up for a second. Don't know. And it's usually around this time of year that I start getting really sick. I generally struggle a lot with chest infections. It's a long story, but they always knock me down. And I've had this particular chest infection for 7 weeks now. And it's really driving me nuts, man. I just want to feel okay again. Another area of struggle is that with this slowdown in February and March, my channel revenue is struggling a little bit. There's not much I can do about that, except, of course, do the classic influencer thing and say, join, become a member, and blah, blah, blah. I'm working on more merchandise. I'm live streaming every month again, which is good because that's a big chunk of income each month to help me get by. And the last thing I think I've really been struggling with personally as a content creator is that I think I have really good video ideas. I think they're really funny and that I get to put a nice twist on them, but sometimes they maybe don't translate into clickability. For example, I really thought this was a shoo-in to do really well, you know? But it was a 10 of 10. So I need to basically think of content ideas that are gonna look... I don't like this, to be honest. I don't like that my first thought when making a video idea is, how is this gonna look? Is this clickable? I want to make good content that's fun. I don't just want to clickbait and then work the rest out. But, you know, that's kind of what YouTube is these days, so I've just got to work with it. Side note, this video, I said something about, like, you know, if it gets 10,000 likes, I'll post these lewd pics somewhere. But, even though it was a 10 of 10 and it got, like, less than half the views I would expect a video to get, you guys still got it to, like, 5,000 likes, which is pretty impressive. So I think, actually, if that had performed normally, I would be in trouble. So anyway, 5,000 likes on this video, and maybe I'll post those lewds again. But basically, and going back on topic, all of those factors left me in a situation where I was exhausted, I wasn't enjoying my creative outlet, and 1 month after taking a huge leap and going full-time YouTube, my views almost halved. Completely without explanation. So I was just kind of sitting here like, what the fuck? Right? So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, things got a little bit dark there for a little while. My mental health was not doing very well as a result of all of this. But of course, I'm not the type to take things lying down. And so of course, I've been making plans and doing what I can behind the scenes to try and up my morale and make a good plan for success going forward. I have to, at the base level, just proceed with the assumption that this is just an extended start of year slowdown period for me, and it's not something to do with the big scary orange man or me falling off. If I start thinking about those too much, I'll just spiral. So I've got to proceed on the assumption that this will work itself out. And that's what I'm doing. As you might have noticed, I've actually broken out my old whiteboards, and they're full of like stuff. I've made whole plans on them, like brainstorming physically and shit. I've been doing some mastermind crap, you know, like I've been sitting on the floor with my whiteboard marker, like, doing conspiracy theory bullshit, figuring out what I can do to go forward and do a bit better. I've been thinking about collaborations. I'm wondering who would be open to collaborate with me, all that kind of stuff. I want to see if I could possibly get hold of one topic, but I don't know. He's a lot bigger than me. It would be fun though. But yeah, you know, I'm open to trying anything at the moment. I've started filming things again. I've got a live stream next weekend, just to remind. Make sure you tune into that, because that'll actually be my birthday live stream. My birthday is on May the 4th, and I'll be having a special live stream that day to celebrate. We've got loads of cool shit planned. We've got, you know, forfeit tables and a D20 dice, so you can make me do really stupid things by membership goals. Should be super fun, honestly. I'm really looking forward to it. Don't miss it. It's gonna be sick, alright? So my birthday's on May the 4th, but obviously New Zealand is the foremost time zone in the world, so for the rest of you it'll probably be on May the 3rd at some point. You can check the date and time in your local time zone on my channel page. Don't miss it. Seriously. If you miss it, I will hunt you down and I will feed you to the eldritch being that lives in my laundry room. But, and going back on track, most importantly, I need to know what you think. I want this comment section to be full of constructive feedback, please. What do you like about my content? What don't you like? What do you want to see more of? What do you think I should adjust? Do you have any fun video ideas that you'd like to see that you think could make a good series or just a good one-off video? I want to hear from you, because at the end of the day, I'm doing this for you, and so that I can have an unlimited supply of pickles, but that's a different matter. If you stopped watching my content, you know, why did you stop watching my content? Was YouTube not serving it to your recommended, or were you getting tired of me? Were you just not interested in the type of content that I made? Was I being too vulgar and crass, which is... yeah, I get that. And lastly, of course, I want to say that I'm not going anywhere, alright? I know this video might have been a little bit doom and gloom at times, but I don't give up on shit, you know. I talked about this a little bit in my other video, but Basically, the only thing I can claim to have is that I bounce back. I get knocked down time and time and time again, and I keep getting up and I keep fighting. And that's what I'll do here. I'm figuring out what I have and haven't done wrong. I'm making a plan, and I'm gonna keep going, and hopefully we'll see some success. I just need your help more than ever right now. Your memberships are keeping me afloat at the moment, so thank you very much for that. If you want to become a member, you can hit that join button down below, or you can actually become a member over on Buy Me a Coffee. Same price, same perks, except you don't get the little badge here on YouTube. Buy Me a Coffee just takes a smaller percentage, 5% as opposed to YouTube's 30%, so if you want me to get more bang for your buck, you can go over there. Or if you just hate YouTube, you know. You still get members only content. And as for what I've been doing the last month, well, 3 things really. Maybe 4. 1, of course, I've been planning, regrouping and strategizing on YouTube. I've also been terrorizing America, because this new government they've got, I'm not entirely on board with it, and I think I would do a better job. 3, I've been playing D&D, which is great. Oh my god, you should check out my dice bag. I hadn't played D&D since 2018, and I found a new D&D group, and I'm really enjoying it. And this is my little dice bag. It's super cute. And look at this. Sorry, I've completely derailed this video now. Look at how pretty this dice set is. There you go, look at it. Isn't it cute? Oh my god, it's so pretty. They've got little blossoms on them. This is my big D20. Focus on it, you can't. There we go. These are my other dice. They actually have an eye in them, but it's looking up, so you won't be able to see that on this camera. It looks up this way, but it looks like a snake eye. It's very cool. Those are really all of my interesting die. Anyway, where was I? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I started, number 3, I started playing Dungeons and Dragons again, which was fun. And number 4, I started playing guitar again, which has been awesome. I'm so glad I started playing guitar again, because I really missed it. Yeah, that's what I've been doing for the last month. Basically just been doing a lot of planning, a lot of thinking, a lot of strategizing, and investing myself in a couple of hobbies just to get my morale up a bit. So now, I have been filming other videos again, but I don't know if I'll have the next one ready for next Monday. I'm hoping I do. I will definitely at the very least have a video for you the following week. Also, keep in mind, New Zealand's a day forward, so my Monday is your Sunday. Have we talked about everything? Have I talked about everything? Is there anything I've forgotten? Oh, I have forgotten something. Glort!